I'm going to read one now that I wrote after Beatlick Joe died, and like Pamela's been saying, we met them, right, both of us were pretty new to Las Cruces.
We didn't even have a home.
And Pamela and I and Joe were in some art performance poetry thing, and that's how we met. And so this has got a shout out to Beatlick Joe right after he died. And I think the idea for this poem is that we all know we're going to die, but we don't necessarily, and we count on it, but we don't necessarily count on catastrophic death. And that's like, when that happens, it throws everybody for a loop. And I feel like with Beatlick Joe, it was kind of catastrophic. And another thing that was happening during this time was it was Halloween, and there was a car wreck right in front of my school. Really bad one, where there was somebody decapitated, and there was students in their Halloween costumes on the way to school, seeing their classmate get decapitated and their mom, and then it was just so weird to see students walking around like the Grim Reaper that day. This tries to capture all that stuff. Ode to Catastrophe. Jack says on Halloween, the living and the dead mingle. We're lucky the plastic masks hide our friends' faces. So much gore on the highway, cops draw a curtain. Police identify victims as mother and son. Next time, maybe you'll be the one drawn to the wreckage, diving for your family in the flames, unable to separate your fingers from their grim details. A congregation of smoke above the interstate. The roads themselves are wilting, hirsute with flesh. With white chalk, I trace the asphalt sinew, silhouettes settle like salt on my tongue, like errant blood in Ryan's brain. Here's a tissue, a collective catastrophe we don't depend on like death. Too liquid to pin down. It's mist in every footprint. It's the Grim Reaper's costume jewelry. It's gravel in the pit of your stomach. It's slippery when someone's dying means you're not dead, and it's nothing personal. We fly lightly like a gnat until we don't, and we refuse to rejoice with trembling. One day you're Beatlick Joe, high-stepping on the panhandle, and the next Day of the Dead I'm setting a tecate on your altar. I feel the marrowless bones like peanut butter in my throat, Tootsie Rolls in my windpipe. My doorbell rings, and it's a miracle. Nobody's there. I study the field mice who leave their tiny bolts and screws on my kitchen floor, who pass their desperate microphone from one mouth to another. All right, thank you guys.